Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. And this video today is on this Audi Q5 in this case, but it's about this 2-liter turbo famous or infamous Volkswagen Audi engine that they install pretty much, I think, probably 80-90% of their vehicles. And like the Jettas, Passats, even the bigger ones, the SUVs, the Tiguan, and then you have these on the Audi, starting from like the A3, A4, A5, possibly I think A6 has it too, and not sure about the A7, but you get the point. This is the very famous 2-liter turbo engine, and this video is for you guys to understand that first of all, Audi Volkswagen engines consume oil. So that's the first thing. It's in their advisory notes and the manuals, and you need to check these engines on time for oil consumptions. Every about that 1,000-1,500 miles, because the oil will go low. Once it goes low, you will start damaging parts. That's the first thing. Second thing is oil changes need to be at 5,000 miles. Just remember, it's the 5 fingers of your hand. 5,000 miles, no more than that. And that's the second thing. The third thing is this oil that you put in this engine, the oil needs to be of good quality. I will recommend you, in my case, I used to use Mobil 1. Mobil 1 is a very good oil. It's available at different stores. It's readily available at Walmart and some, the normal auto parts stores. But I've ended up kind of upgrading to a better oil. And in this case, we use here at the shop liquid moly oil, like these specific oils. This one with the gold letter is actually the really nice one. And then if you want to use a better oil than that, they have a green oil called Moly Gen. That oil is amazing. I use it in all my cars, and I cannot say how happy I am with those oils, or specifically the Moly Gen. But you need to find your mechanic. You need to find a good mechanic, and forget about those Jiffy Lubes, all these 5-minute oil changes. Forget about them, because you will destroy your engine when you use cheaper oils. So this particular car has about 100,000 miles. I mean, this is how bad this is. 100,000 miles, and we see this all the time. We get now about 1 to 2 engines per month. I mean, just exploded, locked up, whatever, happened to, I'm talking about this specific engine. And this engine in this case, this video is about the oil again, that you need to understand what happens if you don't change your oils on time. So this engine is open. That's the timing chain covers. These engines use timing chains. There's another version of engines, not these, but there's another kind of engines that use timing belts. But we're talking about today about this specific 2-liter turbo, and that uses timing chain, and also any other engine that uses timing chain. You need to be on track with your oils, because this is what happens. This engine started having problems. Most of the time what happens is you will get trouble code DTCs with correlation out of range, or in that manner, and the correlation between the signals that the camshafts get and send to the ECU with the correlation of the crankshaft's position sensor, meaning that they become out of range because they're not synchronized. That happens because of this. You see, the timing chain is stretched, and the reason why it's stretched is because this engine was starved. It was literally starved of oil, and when this happens, there is no lubrication, and the chain will start stretching. So because of this, actually, one of the first symptoms that you can always tell that there's something going on even on a different type of engine, if it has a timing chain, if it has, if it has pretty good miles, you need to try to see if you have a long cranking. In our case, this is one of the first symptoms. This engine has a long cranking and it won't start. Long cranking also is sometimes the long cranking is actually a sign of a fuel pump going bad, but that's a different topic and a different thing. But in our case, the combination of the correlation of these DTCs with the long cranking is because the timing chain is out of timing. So the long cranking is making the engine not start on time. So you have to crank it for like maybe 10-15 seconds before it starts. And this is the problem again, this stretched engine, the timing chain on the engine. So we're actually going to change these because the engine has 100,000 miles. I would recommend sometimes, depending on how bad or how old the engine is and how worn the parts are, sometimes it's not a viable thing to do to change these, because if the engine is sacrificed, meaning that the engine was starved of oil, that means that your bearings and all these other parts and internal parts in the engine will be worn out. So there is no point for you to do this job. In our case, we are going to do this job because that's what the decision was made with the customer. But again, please guys, don't starve your engines of oil. Make sure you follow on track with the maintenance, because this will be the result. You are thinking that you're going to save 20-30 bucks on every oil change, but at the end, that's going to end up costing you thousands of dollars, or otherwise you will have to throw the car away. So it's up to you, what you want to do. This is, you decide what you want to do. The smartest thing is to be on track, and on time, and just pay attention to how dark this oil is. The oil is just abused. And all these parts, when you see all these parts, are supposed to be, of course, because they're already worn out and old, they're really dark. But when you install these, they usually have like a yellowish kind of white color. And all of this is because of overheating of the oil. Again, you see this is dark. And actually what happens at this stage, these tensioners, because of this overheating situation, these tensioners will start breaking. So you can imagine if one of these breaks and you're driving, you will sacrifice the engine. We actually have another engine that we replaced on the same Q5, not this car but a different car, that they locked up the again, oil starvations. They locked up one of the bearings on the piston rods to the crankshaft. I believe it was cylinder 3. So the engine was done, so we put a new engine. But this video is for you guys to understand, to show you what happens. Because when you look outside and you talk to people, they're like, whatever, I'll save 20 bucks here and there, 30 bucks, blah blah blah. You're gonna save, maybe at the end of the day, you're gonna save 300-400 bucks altogether, but that's gonna end up costing you, multiplied by 10 or 15 times. It's gonna cost you, you're gonna save 300, and then you're gonna cost you 3-4. Actually, in this case today, if you want to change today an engine, one of these, a used engine, is about $4,000, and then the labor is about $3,000 to $4,000 additionally. So you save, let's say you save $700 at the most. That $700 is gonna end up costing you $7,000 at the end of the day. So please guys, look at this, understand this, ask questions in the comments, or ask your mechanic what's going on with my car. Is it consuming oil? Am I on time? Remember again, 5,000 miles, no more. Recommendation on these engines, Liqui Moly. I have no affiliation. I don't get paid by Liqui Moly. I have no interest in the company or whatsoever. I'm giving you my own experience because I've tried different oils, and I've set up right now to use liquid moly. Yes, I'm always open to use other kinds. There are a couple more kinds that sometimes can be used or we have used. Just in this case, for the price, liquid moly has been the best choice that I have, kind of made. You can go higher to maybe use AMSOIL, but they're very expensive. They're supposed to be really good. We compared AMSOIL with liquid moly a couple times. We didn't see any difference, so there was no point to continue buying AMSOIL. Then I believe there's a German brand called Rowe, ROW. That's supposed to be a good one. I think it's about the same price as liquid moly, but I think liquid moly is more available. And then there was you have Motul. Motul is a French kind of oil. They are also very good, but I believe they're more expensive. So that's the information. I've given you what I know, what I see. There's no point for me to lie or trick you or anything like that. I have no interest. And this is all for your help to understand what's going on. And this is pretty much it. I hope you guys get some piece of advice from my videos, or some kind of a reason to consider it. Consider what you guys are doing with your cars, and see what the end result would be right here if you don't. So thanks very much for your time. Thanks very much for watching. Please like my videos and please subscribe. Thank you.